What is going on, guys? Welcome to Lab Auto Spa here in El Cajon. I'm Pierre.
Chris.
And today we're going to be bringing this 740 Li back to life. We're going to be showing you guys the process of how we do everything, setup, the process of bringing it back to life. We'll show you guys right now. So let's go ahead and move on into it. Okay guys, so a couple things you're going to need to get started are some buckets. These buckets you could be purchased anywhere. You could use a Chemical Guys one. We'll put the link down below. Or you could go to your local Lowe's or Home Depot and get one of those and fill it up with water, no issue. Another thing you're going to need is some wash mitts. This one we use, these are from the Rag Company. These ones are very good. I highly recommend them. We'll post that one down below. And then you're going to need your soap of any choice. This one right here is Mr. Pink. We use these in our buckets. And then you're going to need a foam cannon or a foam gun if you don't have a pressure washer. This will help get the car nice and sudded down. And you're going to need something to fill that up with. You could use Mr. Pink or you could get a designated soap to fill up your foam cannon. Either way works. And then last thing you're going to need is a garden hose. Right? So the last thing you need is a garden hose to fill up your buckets with and get your soap. And then some towels to dry the vehicle down. We use an assortment of different towels for the windows, for the body, for the jams, and then just for the overall drying process. Let's go ahead and get into the process of how we set up washing the car. Okay guys, so we're going to move on to one of the most important buckets in my opinion. This is our wheel bucket. These are a couple different tools that I use to get the rims nice and clean. These are to get the barrel and the back areas that are hard to reach. These are going to be for your wheel well areas where the plastics are. This is going to be a boar hair brush, just a gentle brush just to kind of foam down the face of the rim. And then we have our tire brush right here. This is what we use to scrub the tire down, get any gunk or red stuff off of there. And then this is going to be our rim sponge. This is what we use to get in those hard to reach areas where there might be a lot of buildup. Lastly, we have a rim brush right here. This is for the spokes, getting in those harder to reach areas. We have a couple miscellaneous brushes in here for the lug areas and just areas that we might need these in where the valve is, or you never know. Moving on over here, we got a couple different clay mitts that we use on the glass. Honestly, these help clean the glass very well, get any sap or anything that's engraved on there. And then just a variety of different wash mitts. You could use like an actual mitt that goes over your hand like this one, or you could use, this is my preferred one, you just throw it in your hand and it's like a sponge almost. So one thing I almost forgot to mention is a separate foamer. So this is an air pressurized foamer from IK. It's the IK Pro 2. This one you could either use by hand or you could hook it up to some sort of valve right there to have it pressurized at all times. We just do the good old-fashioned hand pump here. What we fill this up with is PNS Brake Buster. This is what we use specifically on the wheels prior to cleaning the vehicle, the body of the vehicle, just because the wheels usually take the longest and we just like to spend time on those and get them out of the way first. So although this is highly recommended, it's not entirely necessary. We just like to use it here. Alrighty guys, next step is going to be to set up either your garden hose or your pressure washer. We always recommend a pressure washer, just it makes the process so much easier. The one we use is a RYOBI. I believe it's like 2,000 PSI. It gets the job done, nothing fancy. Couple $100 maybe. So we're gonna go ahead and set this up. First thing you want to do is get your garden hose. We have a quick connect here, which is what we use on all of our appliances. Just makes the process of getting everything on and off way easier. We'll link that down below as well. Hook it up right back here. Just like that. And boom, the water's on. Alright guys, so your first step is gonna be to load up your buckets. Just so you know, we're gonna have a wash bucket and then a rinse bucket. So once you're done lathering the car and everything, you're gonna want to take your mitt that you have that's loaded with contaminants, rinse it off in this bucket, try to trap any grime at the bottom. We have a great guard down there to catch any big contaminants, make sure they don't get back up. And then we put it back into our wash bucket. So we're gonna put some soap in our wash bucket. We have like one of these pizza sauce squirters that we use. Just throw some in there, and then same thing for our wheel bucket. We're gonna throw some soap in there. And then with your pressure washer or garden hose, you're gonna wanna make it nice and sudsy. Just put it in maybe like an inch. Go. And that's a nice and prepped bucket. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, this car has seen better days. It is suffering from a lot of dirt, a lot of sap. Looks like someone left a little thank you present right on the hood. We also got a couple bugs encrusted on the front. This guy saw his last day. So we're gonna go ahead and do our best to take care of all that. On a vehicle like this, You're gonna usually always want to do it pre-rinse, just because before you put a sponge to it or anything, you want to try to knock off all this dirt, loose contaminants and whatnot. And there's two methods you could do. Some people will foam cannon it, rinse the foam cannon off, and then use the soap. That's perfectly fine. The way we do it here is we'll usually just rinse it off with the pressure washer, get it nice and clean, get all this stuff off, foam cannon it down so you have the max amount of lubricant when you're hitting it with the Mitt. So let's go ahead and move on to rinsing this bad boy off and getting all of this dirt off the car. Alrighty guys, surprise. So actually the first place that I always start when I'm washing a car is down here, right on these bad boys, and you'll see why. They're dirty. They're just not looking right. These guys could really use some love, so I like to start at the wheels always, because it's gonna take the longest, and sometimes you're not fortunate to have covering over you, so when you're done working on the body of the car and you get to the wheels, the body may dry out. So I like to just start on the wheels and then move on to the body. Just kind of get the headache out of the way. Okay guys, so first thing I always recommend is some PPE for your eyes. You could wear gloves depending on the chemical that you're using. I usually don't wear gloves, but I always choose to sport one of these bad boys right here, just because if you get something in your eyes from these dirty wheels, it's not going to be a fun couple days, guys. So step one is going to be to rinse off as much dirt as you can before you start. And as you can see, that wheel actually cleaned up pretty nice just with a nice pressure wash. So we're going to go ahead and start next with our foam gun. And we're going to get this wheel nice and foamy. Another thing I recommend is not working on a hot wheel. So this car has been sitting for a couple hours. If the wheel is hot when you start on it, I recommend really rinsing it down good, cooling off the rotors and brakes really well. So this way when you spray these chemicals on, they don't dry out. They really are meant to work at an optimal temperature, and boiling hot is not it. So once you let that sit for a minute, you're gonna go ahead and reach in your bucket and grab your tire brush. I like to start from the outside in. So I'll work from the tires, from the barrel to the spokes to the middle. So I'll start by giving it a nice scrub. This is actually a pretty hard brush right here, more on the firm side I'd say. And I kind of just put one finger behind it and make sure not to get the rim, because you could potentially scratch the rim depending on the material that it's made out of. So give it a good couple passes of scrubs. You already see some brown stuff coming off of it right there. This will help you make sure that when you put your tire shine on, your tire is nice, shiny, and black. You see all the dirt right there that's coming off of the tire. And then the next step is going to be to grab your long stick right here. And some of them have this little splash guard, which is good to make sure that stuff doesn't splash back. What I will do is just get out of the way. So I start from the top and then work my way to the bottom. So do some scrubbing right here. Get it right in the middle, right there. Just kind of scrub what you can. And I make like a left and right motion as I go, trying to overlap. And I'll start back on this side from the top, just because everything kind of runs down. All right, so now that you have the barrel all scrubbed out, I like to get my boar hair brush and just kind of soap off, get all this dirt off the face right there. As you can see, just kind of help me work with a cleaner space. So I'll get all that dirt off, maybe even clean a little bit off, who knows. But this is just kind of like a rough clean and soap down right here. So now that I get the wheel all nice and soapy, we're gonna get our wheel sponge. Just kind of start from the outside, make sure we don't miss any spots, and just pick a spoke where to start and just finish from there. I'll always start from the top one just to keep things flowing, and then work my way to the left, counterclockwise. Get all these corners really good. I'll like get my finger, bury it in the sponge, and then go to the corner right there, and that's usually where a lot of the grime and brake dust will build up. Finish off right there, kind of get in between all these lug areas with your finger. All right, lastly, we're just gonna get miscellaneous brush. We're just gonna hit these lug areas anywhere that we might have missed. All right guys, so now that the wheels are all cleaned up, all four of them, the next step is gonna be to rinse off this car from all the dust and debris that it has on it. A step I usually like to start with is I'll get some bug zapper and I'll go ahead and mist down the whole front of the car, get rid of all. It really helps with the rinsing process when you're removing these bugs. So I'll just come and spray the whole front of the bumper just with this bug zapper. Just Kind of let that chill there. And any kind of bug zapper works. You could use the one from 3D. I'm personally using one from Jack's Wax El Cajon. So it is what it is. So you let that settle in for a couple minutes, I'd say, and we'll continue rinsing off the rest of the car. So let's do it. All right, so once you got the car rinsed off, all the dirt is off of it, you're good to go ahead and introduce a layer of soap on this if you have foam cannon or foam gun, and go ahead and start lathering that in. So now you get your foam cannon or foam gun, whatever you got. Go ahead and link that bad boy up, put it to your settings that you like, and start spraying away. So now that we're at this part, we're gonna go ahead and grab our detail brushes and go ahead and work out any of those little areas, like our mirrors, our grills, our front fenders. Go ahead and clean out all these little mirror areas. Little holes in there. Your Mitt is gonna have a tougher time grabbing into. I like to come and do the grills in here, kind of run it down the middle, let it do its thing. Try not to get too much on the paint with this brush. The reason I like to start with the roof is because that is where a lot sap will build up and stuff like that. So just kind of sending all the dirty stuff down and out, you know, no surprises. So I kind of work in halves. So I'll work in like one top half, go do the other top half. All right guys, and another note, when you're gonna be scrubbing the car, try to avoid going in circles, just in case you do have any materials or anything like that. And when you're go ahead and cleaning your Mitt, you're gonna put it into your rinse bucket, kind of rinse out all the old stuff in there, like agitate the top of the surface, put it up against the grit guard, and then you can go ahead and re-soak it back into your soap bucket. You got a nice clean bucket now. So you should be nice and foamy right now. Everything that you should be doing, leaving the streak, come to the hood. So guys, if you're solo or you have someone helping you out, we got Chris scrubbing down the rest of the car with that wash mitt. I like to go ahead and clay down the glass actually. There's a lot of stuff that embeds into the glass. For some reason, it's a lot harder to come out. So I'll come and just clay down all these glass with this clay mitt. It's nice and easy. Again, you may be able to do it to the body of the vehicle if the vehicle has a lot of contaminants, but this one in this case was just freshly polished a couple months ago. Especially on a black car like this, anything on the windows will really stand out. So. Alrighty guys, if you've made it this far, please do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Put maybe some constructive criticism in the comments, maybe what you guys would like to see more of or less of. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to rinsing down the car after you've gone ahead and foamed it down, scrubbed it down, made sure all the dirt is off, all the sap is off. So now you're gonna go ahead and reload your pressure washer or garden hose with your washing tip, just like that. I like to give it a little test away from the car to make sure that the tip is secured and it's not gonna go flying out towards the car. So once you've done that, go ahead and rinse it down, same fashion from top to bottom. And let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty guys, so once you got the car all rinsed off and all the soap removed from the car, the next step is gonna be to get all that water off. So you have two choices. Either you could sit here with a towel and dry off the whole thing, which is totally fine, nothing wrong with that. Or you could use a blower to assist you in getting all the water out of all the crevices. This blower here is from Adams Polishes. I believe I spent a couple $100 on this one. This one is really great for helping you blow out the rims, all the crevices in the rims, all the crevices in the door handles, the mirrors, all the annoying areas where water is just gonna linger after your car wash. So let's go ahead and get started with that and I'll show you how this thing works.
Alrighty y'all, so we're coming to the end of our detail. So the next step is going to be just cleaning your door jambs. So if you come over here, as you can see, you're going to have some of these little watermarks left, just some leftover dirt. So now you're going to come inside just with a dry rag of your choice. Just going to come inside here and firmly press down and take down all of this excess dirt left inside the door jambs. Just a couple wipe downs to do the trick. Inside here, do everything that's visibly possible to you next to the rain guard. Alright, the next step is gonna go ahead and grab your glass cleaner. This is our Jack's Wax glass cleaner. We'll provide this link down below. So go ahead and grab a waffle towel. So one wet side, one dry side. The wet side you're gonna use to start off first. So you're gonna spray the window down. A little goes a long way with this, so let's go ahead with your wet side. And then just toss the towel over. Make sure you get all these edges. Repeat on the outside and the inside. Same thing here. Go around one time with your edges. Come in and wipe all that excess glass cleaner off. And I'll show you an example on the inside. It's the same thing. Flip to your wet side, spray once. Go ahead, edges, wipe down one time. Switch to your dry side. Your windows look brand new. This is one of the harder places to reach with the glass cleaner. If you're not that tall, go ahead and grab a step stool. Something that'll help with height. Come inside, grab your wet side. Firmly apply. A couple times, same thing, get your edges. Flip to your dry side. Come over here and take all that excess off. Alright guys, so after you've done all the exterior glasses and the interior glasses, now we need a sealant for the vehicle. Our choice is a ceramic sealant. It's a reload spray from CARPRO. We'll leave this link down in the bio too. Wax on. You don't need that much either. Go ahead, wax on. You're gonna see it kind of provides this like glaze material. And then pick a dry side of your towel. And just go ahead and take that stuff off. Don't let it sit for too long. Same thing. Wax on. Hit all these edges. And this will give your car like that really shiny look. Also clear up any watermarks that are left on with the drying. You could also use two towels. Personally, me, I just like to pick a dry side of the towel for my buff off. Alrighty guys, so for our last final step to making your car look brand new, we're gonna provide a tire shine to all the tires around the vehicle. So I believe this is chemical, guys, so we'll link that in the bio too. And then we just have an applier, sponge applier here. So let's go ahead and spray it kind of lightly. And then try not to hit the rim. If you do hit the rim, just wipe it as fast as possible. Just go ahead all the way around. I'll do the inside of the tire first, just so I can focus on doing it faster after. Just kind of give it that side to side. You're gonna make your tires look brand new, shiny when you're driving your car, to give it that showroom finale.
Hey guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. As you can see, we're towards the very final steps of the wash, just about done. Today in this video, we showed you guys how to wash the whole car, take care of your wheels, clean the glass, clean all the little areas of the car. And as you can see, the car is looking great. Looking nice and shiny, wheels are nice and shiny. Just overall clean up the car and give them the outside detail. As you can see, this is looking like a mirror. Piano black, one of the hardest parts of the detail, that's it. Thank you guys always for watching. This is Pierre here from Live Auto Spa.
Chris from Live Auto Spa.
Really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.